That's exactly what he's doing. Okay. Let's try it again. Hey, thanks so much for being on this call. I know everybody's kind of busy running around on a Monday night. It's a great weekend for our program. Our Lakeshore program had, not a lot of you know, but we have our youth program is really humming right now, and we had 18 teams play this weekend, and we had 9 winners. So that's one of our best weekends yet in terms of success. But very excited for this call. Very excited for all of our families. We consider our program a big family, and we've always kind of looked at it that way. It derived from my family, my dad, when I was in high school. So it's been one of those things that just continued to pass on. And obviously, we're in a position right now to help a lot of young men in their basketball journey, in whatever aspect that looks like. And so we're trying to help in the community. And so we've got a lot of really good families, got a lot of good alumni that are back coaching in the program. So typically our protocol at the beginning of the season is just to do kind of an intro, who we are. You guys get to know us, get to know who our program is, a little bit beyond just seeing, a name on the paper. So why don't, with that, let's get going. All right. Where is our Zoom here? All right. Okay. Little high school spring 2025. Just an info welcoming you guys to the program. Again, I think this is our started in 2005. This is our 20th season of doing this. So we've been in the business for a while. Every year feels like there's a new opportunity. Really, really excited about this year. Have a lot of really good families, a lot of good players. Here's just some lineage of who we are. On the left, some of our alumni over the last couple of years. The graphic on the right is up to date. We have 4 kids that are in the national tournament, the NCAA March Madness. Luke Barrett on the left, who I'll explain in a little bit. We're really ecstatic for our alumni. Like I said, we track them, we follow them, we know their families. And so Luke Barrett's one of those that just I'll get to in a little bit. Was a walk-on at St. Mary's, and he earned himself a scholarship, and now he's in the NCAA tournament. So just a couple of our alumni. It's kind of cool. Left corner, Anthony Roy played for us, was leading the nation in scoring until he broke his foot in the 10th game of the season, unfortunately. But he'll be back. He'll transfer to high major school for sure. JoJo Murphy in the bottom left corner. He won Player of the Year at Chico State D2. Ultra competitive kid from Piedmont. Really, really, really high level kid. And then on the right, Chance McMillan, 0 D1 offers out of high school, went post grad, continued to trust the process, and went to GCU out of post grad, and then ended up transferring to Texas Tech. So very happy for Chance. He's a Vallejo kid. Xavion Brown at Dallas Baptist. He played at Sheldon High School in Sacramento. Great young man. Went to Appalachian State out of high school in North Carolina. Played for there for a couple of years, and then transferred to a D2, a powerhouse in Dallas. And it's had an amazing year at a very, very good Division II school in Texas. And then, like I mentioned, Luke Barrett, guys, I know I'll talk a lot about our alumni until I'm blue in the face, but Luke Barrett was a guy that was going to go to Division III Pomona Pitzer, have his parents spend between $60,000 and $70,000 a year for a really prestigious Division III school. He ends up walking on at St. Mary's, and then now 3 years later, he's in the conversation to win Nolan Richardson Player of the Year award, which is, that's beyond words. So we're really excited about Luke and his family as they're in the tournament. And then Caden Warren, the bottom left, he played for us. He's from St. Mary's of Stockton. Caden was a walk-on this year at Cal Poly. He texted me and my dad the other day. He got awarded a full ride scholarship. So those are the type of things that obviously, as a program, we promote, we follow, we track, and we support them. This is me. This is my family on the right. We were down at Disneyland. That's my oldest, JJ, right there. And then my daughter, Collins, is just turned 5. And then my wife, Kelly, in the corner. That's us down there having fun. And then on the left, that's my 13U team. I coach our top 7th grade team in our middle school. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me. Some of you guys might know me from coaching at Prolific Prep and yelling my head off. But if you want to have a good laugh, you can click on that underscore and it'll take you to an overtime series. They did a documentary on the season that I coached there. And it was kind of a fun little thing. So, Josh, are you on the call?
Yeah, hey everybody, I'm Josh Enish. I've been working with Joey for about 8 months now, full time. I played at Amherst D3 back on the East Coast. If anyone's interested in that world, I still talk to the coach and have some hooks into that NESCAC world. These are my three kids a couple years ago. The big one's a junior at Berkeley High. The middle one there is on 13U Blaisdell at Lakeshow, and the baby is now 3. So here I help Joey. Joey, you can go to the next slide. Mostly you'll see me coming up with registration and league apps. And league apps is something I'm a parent to, obviously. I thought I knew what league apps was, but I didn't quite understand it until I started working here and using it as a power user. But long story short, for parents, is where you pay for stuff, the season, clinics, blah, blah, blah. But even more importantly for you is the practice and the game schedule, which we owe you. We have 150 kids coming through for high school alone. We just came off the girls and boys registration season. So we'll get that in your schedule as soon as possible. That's on me. I apologize, but soon you will see your practice schedules and your game schedules. And then most importantly for us is the RSVPing. It sounds like a simple thing, but actually it means a lot because coaches and teams need to sleep easy, knowing they're going to have 6 or 7 players to the game the next day. You don't want to show up with 4 players and waste your Saturday afternoon. We've all been there. So just giving coach a heads up about the numbers is big. So please remember to do that when the stuff gets into the calendar, and I'll be doing that in the next few days. But welcome everybody. I'm happy to work with you.
Thank you, Josh. Yeah, to piggyback on the league apps, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but yeah, Josh, we won't run in the risk of 4 players with the high school. The high school is a little bit better with attendance wise, but it definitely helps our coaches just planning. I mean, we play 6 tournaments in the spring, which is more than any other AAU team, but it is informative to have just kind of a game plan going into that weekend. So league apps is going to be something we would love for you guys to adopt. It will turn into, they're going to white label an app for us, and we're going to turn that into something in the future, but that's our platform that we use right now. Ryan Reth, are you on the call? He's in the middle of a workout right now, so I don't know if maybe we'll get lucky with Ryan's running a workout right now in the ARC, and he's got like 30 kids that are working hard right now. Ryan has been he's been the sacrifice. He's got 2 kids in our program. He's an amazing coach, devotes a lot of his time, a lot of his energy, and he'll coach one of our 17U teams this year. All right, it's Tony Amitson on the call. I don't know if Tony's on the call.
Here's my headphones.
So if you guys can go on mute, please, that'd be really helpful. I don't think that Tony is on the call, but Tony is the head coach at Clovis North. He's amazing. He's going to coach one of our 17U gold teams, but he's got a son, McKay. He just went to go visit his oldest that plays at Dartmouth University in the Ivy League, and they just lost in their conference tournament. So that's where Tony is traveling. Is Cam Vote on the call?
Yeah, Joey, I was here. I'm sorry, my microphone was muted. I was trying to unmute it. So
Ryan Reth, let's bring you back.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate the introduction. I'm excited, ready to go, and yeah, looking forward to making this a competitive season again.
Yeah, so Ryan, like I said, he's going to coach a 17U team. He's been awesome. And he's got a son, Mason, that's a freshman at Cal High. He'll be on one of our 15U teams. Is Cam on the call? I don't know if I cut you off.
Yeah, Joey, I'm here.
Let's go. What's up, Cam?
Yeah, no, good to be here. And yeah, I'll be coaching a team down in the Monterey area. I'll be practicing down there, but then competing up with you guys in Oakland and down south. And yeah, looking forward to giving our guys down here a really good program to be part of.
Yeah, really excited to have Cam. Great to meet you, man. He's going to spearhead a really good 17s team with a guy that I actually played high school for when I was a freshman, Brian Driscoll, who's the varsity coach at Palma. We actually have a few families that have come from that area. So what better way than to drive 3 hours north? You could stay down there south and we can have 7 or 8 really good players. So excited to have Cam. Savon, are you on the call?
Yeah, I'm right here. What up? Thank you guys for being here. I'm Savon Crowley. I coach 14s or middle school 14s team. My first year with Lakeshow, I played at College of Alameda, played at Oakland Tech. I'm just a basketball guy. I love the game. I'm always in the gym training. Um, just growing up, becoming an adult, I just learned that everything that I've learned and everything I've been blessed with is for me to be able to pass it down. So I'm really big on just teaching the guys the games and relating it to life lessons also, So yeah, I'm just excited to get after 16U. It's like something I've been looking forward to for so long. So yeah, let's get after it.
I love it. Savon's a great teacher, great coach. He's a great leader. He really has done a great job with, he's coached, he's already coached two different age groups. So now we're having him do his third, but he's really excited. I could tell he's got an itch for this 16U team. That 16U team is going to be good. I'm really excited about that. And so, yeah, Savon's a really big piece to it. And he's also a trainer too. So some of the guys that want extra work, you'll see him in the gym. We'll talk about the training piece later. Jay Hick.
What's going on, everybody? It's Jordan Hickman. I coached last year the 17U. So that was my first year with Lakeshow. I played with Lakeshow back when I was in high school as well. Ended up going to Santa Rosa Junior College. Then I went to Sonoma State, and then I got lucky enough to play a couple years overseas in Spain. So excited to run it back this year. We got a really good group of kids, really good group of coaches as well. So it should be a lot of fun, a lot of knowledge between all of the coaches for sure. So it'll be some good basketball.
Yeah, Jordan coached one of the most memorable seasons, I would say, for just a unit. Like I was a part of his post game in that picture on the right. And I literally remember it like it was yesterday. I mean, it was emotional and it just spoke volumes about the way that he conducted himself as a coach, as a leader. And the boys really bought in. So very, very excited. Jordan's a really good coach. He played at Sonoma State, what he said, and played overseas for a couple years. Great guy, great coach. And he's also, he's going to train too. So a lot of our coaches, the theme is there's training going on. So Jordan will be that for doing that as well. Brett is at a dinner for his daughter, or his sister in the city, promoting a job. But he's going to coach one of our 16U teams. He was the varsity coach at Encinal. He coaches Josh's son, Noah, on their 7th grade. And I'm really excited to have Brett. This will be his first year doing high school. There's a couple families that have been around him. Does a really good job. Steve Boyd, it's your turn, my man.
Hey, hello, Coach Steve. Came in the Lakeshow 2010, so I've been a part of the Lakeshow family for a long time. Coaching 14s and 15s now. I've coached all ages and levels in the program. Coached high school for a bit. Getting back into training now. Contemplating a high school job right now. And just excited to be another season, another round. Well, I mean, Lakeshow doesn't stop for me. It's year round all the time. So that part is good, but I just love the game. A lot of things that I've achieved or received in my life have come as a result of basketball, related to basketball. And so this is my opportunity to give back my time, my experience, my knowledge, and my love. And I'm just ready to run it another time.
Love that, man. Love it. Steve is devout Lakeshow. He's been there, and he's one of our main guys, and we're really, really excited. I'm actually really excited about his 15U team. They're going to be competitive. Our 15U. Sorry about that. That was an earthquake. I don't know if you guys felt that in Danville.
Bro, that was crazy, bro.
Yeah, legit earthquake.
Happening in Oakland too.
Yeah, that shook me a little bit. Everybody okay? Yeah, kids are okay.
2012.
Is everybody okay on the call? Jeez, that was crazy in the East Bay. Anyways, Steve's amazing, and Steve's going to coach a 15U team this year. He's also doing an 8th grade team too. So, Brandon Halal, let's get you going, man.
Yep. What's up, everyone? Coach Brandon. I've actually coached with Lakeshow back in 2019. The picture on the left there, when we were up in Oregon and won the championship was pretty cool. JoJo Murphy's in that group, and I remember a lot of the other kids over there. So it was fun being a part of back then. Um, and then the right, so I've been coaching high school the last 5 or 6 seasons now. Spent the last two coaching 15s or freshmen at Clayton Valley in Concord, but I'm married and 3 kids, so now it's getting pretty busy. But I'm happy to be back with the 15s group and all the kids. And so yeah, just happy to be back. Excited for the season. I think it's going to be a fun spring and summer.
Yeah, no, we're excited to have Brandon back. Brandon was the freshman coach at Clayton Valley. He's been with us. This would be his second stint. Very excited to have him back. Brandon's gonna do some NCAA stuff too. So you'll hear from him in a little bit. He's gonna kind of spearhead the BBCS profile. It's a free profile that every kid has to do for recruiting purposes. It takes 5 minutes, but Brandon will kind of spearhead that. He's also coaching two 15U teams for us, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, we're excited to have his family back. Jay Ned.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Yeah, I'm Jonathan. I went to Heritage High School, so I'm from Brentwood. And then I went to college at Eastern Florida State College as a JUCO over there. And then I transferred to University of Georgia for 2 years. And then I finished my career up at Western Washington. And then I also played like a little bit of overseas. So I'm just excited to, all the knowledge I've acquired over the years, just excited to give back and start to help everybody that's coming up like with their journey and try and help them succeed. So
Yeah, I love that. I'm really excited about Jonathan. He's going to help. He's going to do kind of a mixed role. He's going to help with the 15s and the 16s. We're going to get his feet wet with both, but he's going to help me on the 16s. I think the theme you guys are hearing is just constant basketball knowledge, passing on, helping young men on their journeys. And again, these pictures are not. I mean, he played at University of Georgia. It's the SEC, so it doesn't get any higher than that. But we love coaches that want to give back. So really excited about Jay Ned. Spring practices. Do we want to get right into this, or Brandon? Why don't we go here? Let's do this really quick. Brandon, why don't you do this NCAA BBS thing real quick? Just give them a very quick synopsis. A lot of our families that have done it with us before kind of know it, but why don't you just give them a high level of what it is?
Yeah, so real quick, it's just a way of the NCAA keeping everything kind of organized with these live events that we're gonna play in, and just making sure that all the programs and all the players that are participating are in compliance with all of their rules that they have. For example, like with these live events, you can only play, each player can only play two games a day, and they can only be registered or on a bench or a roster with only one team for that, that weekend, so they can't be playing, for multiple teams and stuff like that. So everyone, like Joey said, every player has to have one. We have to add them to our rosters for it to be official. Like when we get to the events, we have to, get our roster signed, and they all have to be on there for them to suit up for us that weekend.
Yeah.
So it's just very important for us in the program.
Yeah.
That every player has.
Yeah, and thank you, Brandon. It's very simple. It will not take very long. It's a profile you have to download so coaches know who you are. We'll get to that later.
Yep.
Spring practice schedule. So the easiest way of doing this, because I know I'm going to get a million questions. Josh is the director of our ops. So Josh is going to deal with anything that comes to scheduling. It's Josh related. And the practice schedule is kind of interesting. So 17U Hickman, they'll be practicing on Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 to 9:30. So there's only 2 teams that practice on Mondays and Wednesdays, and that's 17U Hickman and 17U Kruger on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then on Tuesdays, 15U Halal will have an early practice because I've got Dave Smart from Pacific, his son is on the team. And so we're going to have their practice a little bit earlier on Tuesday and Wednesday. But everybody else's practice schedule is pretty fluid, meaning it's Tuesday, Thursday night, OGP, 8 o'clock. We're still kind of finalizing a couple last roster spots. So again, if you're like, hey, I don't know what team, follow out, reach out to Josh. We have all the rosters down, but they're all kind of getting finalized as we speak. But that kind of gives you a rough framework of what your practice schedule would look like.
And just to be clear, Joey, go back 1 second. We're not putting them super late because we want to, but those empty spots are filled by middle school teams. You just don't, we didn't fill them in here, but
Yeah.
6:30 to 8 is on Tuesday, Thursday, especially it's filled our middle school program. So
Yeah.
we have to get everybody at 8.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Josh. We don't want to confuse you guys, but basically from the hours of 5 o'clock till for 8 o'clock, 5 to 8 every single day, there's 45 teams running throughout there. Here's our spring and summer schedule. So the way that we did it this year is we just made one season together. So your spring and summer are together. Reason being, we like consistency. I mean, we're sitting here at March 17th. Our first practice will be this week, but we believe in continuity. So we take the month of March to practice, the month of April to play. If you notice that we're going to play 3 out of the 4 weekends, and then in May, we'll play 3 out of the 4 weekends as well. So the schedule is pretty consistent. And again, I know I've had the question a lot. Everybody plays in the same things. It's just a matter of the level, so like if you're a D1 team, you're playing D1 division against competition. And so, but everybody plays in the same tournaments. Now, on the Adidas qualifiers, I want to be clear. There are some teams that are gold, and then there's some teams that are below that. It's really, honestly, it's irrelevant to be very honest with you. When you're a freshman or a sophomore, it really doesn't matter. And we talked about all those college alumni earlier. At this point, it's about reps. And I know that we're all, these 15, 16-year-old kids are all about the circuit and all about, I get all that. But right now, we do our best with our expertise in doing this business on putting the kids where they belong. So that's really it. I mean, you're talking about 2, 4, 5, 6 spring tournaments. And then there'll probably be 3 in the summer, right? The first weekend in July is always kind of a tricky one because it's around the 4th of July. But you can plan on that many tournaments. I mean, it's a full-fledged thing. And so like all of our tournaments will be 4 games minimum, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. However, the live period starts on Friday, May 16th. I always ask for games in the afternoon. So for traveling purposes, I always travel down the morning of, but in certain circumstances, I may fly down the night before. But if I would suggest all those ones that are 3-day tournaments, getting there in the morning on that day starts is normally safe. Live period means there's college coaches that can come and watch. There's only one live period in the spring. So again, to all that circuit stuff and all that, there's only one viewing period that colleges can come watch in the spring. Financial commitment. Okay, so by now you kind of understand how much we charge. Again, we have the luxury of being a 501c nonprofit. However, we feel like as a staff, the best thing to do is to blend opportunity with these players, right? It doesn't matter what background you come from. We like to help everybody. And so our price is set at where it's set competitive to the market. I won't go too much into detail, but we tried to set it because we do pay our coaches. We're playing in one of the most premium gyms in Northern California. We get Adidas there's a lot of really nice stuff that the boys are going to get. Plus you get 6 tournaments in the spring, which is more than any other AAU team. So we believe in reps. And so that's why that's on that sheet, but pretty standard. We do payment plan. So what we talked about earlier, league apps, there actually is a payment plan that Josh Anish will go down into detail with you guys. We try to make it affordable for everybody. So that's kind of the structure of it. Program insurance, all the little things like that. But and again, that's spring and summer. So we're not doing that anymore, where we include all the trout. We can't do that anymore. So if you need assistance, please shoot Josh a note. At this point, we kind of know because we've already kind of like finalized our rosters, and you guys at this point would have already registered for a team. But just that's some framework for you on the price. All right, that's it. I honestly, I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Um, I know we're gonna have a plethora of questions. So you can hit the chat. Josh, we can start doing the questions after I finish my train of thought. Um, so starting tomorrow night would be our first practice. And the teams that so for example, 15U Halal, they practice earlier on Tuesdays. So they would go from 6:30 to 8. But most of the teams would practice on Tuesday, Thursday night at 8 o'clock. I'll also follow up this email with that chart so you guys can see it. I'm good, but I'm not that good. We're still trying to get in the flow of the high school season. So we're adapting right now. But yeah, practice tomorrow. And then yeah, why don't we get into, I guess, any questions? I'm sure there's going to be just some like basic, like tournament questions. But Josh, why don't we rattle these off?
Erica is asking a good question. Are all the practices at OGP? The answer is yes for the teams that are based in OGP. For example, 17U Vote is down in Monterey. They will never be at OGP. The only exception to that is 17U Ref, which will have one practice at OGP, I believe, on Monday or Tuesday, and
Tuesday.
one probably in Valley Christian on Wednesday or Thursday. We'll get back to you on that, but every other team is twice a week here.
Yeah. And part of that $2,500, just so you know, guys, was we threw in that Sunday night skills clinic for a couple weeks. That was kind of cool. We'd love to keep going with those. We already have paid for the gym time, so I'd love to just get the guys in there. And thank you to my dad, who's also on this call. He's helping out at Valley Christian in Dublin, and he helped open up the gym last night for our 17U boys. So really excited about that. But yeah, most of our practice OGP. With the exception of Ryan Reth will practice at Valley Christian. And then Sunday nights when we don't, like if there's not and Brandon will kind of spearhead this on Sunday nights for our skills. If we're in out of town tournament, you can't do the Sunday night skills. But if there's a weekend where games end early on that Sunday, we'll offer, like Brandon will open up the gym and you guys will get a good workout in. So that's kind of a perk. So you're really getting 2 practice a week plus a Sunday night skills clinic. All practices are 90 minutes. The way they work, guys, is I don't know if you've been, I mean, most of us have been to OGP, but there's 4 NBA size courts. There's also full side courts that go length, not full length, but a decent size. So every team will get one of the side, but then we rotate. So like our 15s may scrimmage our 16s and our 16s. So we kind of do it like this so that that way there's an opportunity to scrimmage against other teams. So what else?
Do you see Zaid's question? Does the location for the final tournament, Rock Hill or Anaheim, depend on how the season goes?
That's right. It's a qualifier. So if you're a gold team and you qualify by what they do is they take the 2 qualifiers, they take your seedings, and if you ended up finishing in the top whatever, I think for 15s it's the top 4, 16s is top 2, and 17s is top 2. But yeah, and that will be very, like last year we had one team do it. And it's costly for sure. But we made that happen for that team. It was kind of a cool experience. I mean, it's going to play with the big boys. But it's good for us. So, and then, yeah, everybody else will be in Anaheim.
Dave and Missy Smith are asking which teams are gold or will be gold.
Yeah, good question. So one of our partnerships with Open Gym Premier is that they actually are the ones that do the scheduling for Adidas Gold. So that's a huge advantage because I have a little bit of a say in that. However, I know where this question's coming from. I may actually make 17U Hickman. I may make them not make them. I would allow them to go play on the made hoops. And I'm not going to get too in deep. We could talk offline about what that looks like because I don't want to open up another can of worms. But we only are allowed a certain amount of teams on Adidas Gold. And so there's different exposure conversations. This is geared more towards 17U. But I may put 3 teams on Adidas Gold and a couple teams on the Made Hoops event. And really, the only difference is just I believe that there was a little bit more coaches, but it's kind of a balancing effect. Every year is different. So we can talk about that offline. Anyone else? We gotta have something. Josh, what else in the chat?
And that's all we got.
Oh,
We're
okay.
good.
I mean, listen, if we can get this done in 30 minutes, then you guys can enjoy the rest of your Monday night. But look, I'm really excited about this season. Every year I get this special feeling of just helping and steering our players in a direction where nowadays playing in college is really hard. It's really hard. We have a group of unsigned seniors that don't have necessarily what they could have had a couple years ago. And so I love being able to use our coaches, our resources, our knowledge, and just helping bridge the gap. If your son is able to, have the opportunity to play in college, if it's just, if you're a freshman right now and you want to get just a little bit better next year for your sophomore year to be one of those main guys on varsity, awesome. So wherever you're at on that spectrum, we love helping, and hopefully you guys heard that loud and clear tonight. Again, I'll send out an email right after this, I'll shoot that chart, the practice chart. Josh, we need to upload those practices in League App so they're accustomed to using that app.
Will do.
Plus also in terms of communication families, we're going to create different team text threads either on WhatsApp or on iMessage. It just depends, but most people, it's kind of hit or miss on the iPhone. So we go to WhatsApp, but look out for that as well. We believe in over communication. So we have the league apps, which is on the roster. You can actually get communication in that, but then we also have another form of method of communication, which is the WhatsApp or an iMessage. Other than that, if you got no questions, I guess this is one of the quickest Zoom calls we've had, which is a good thing. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much. And look out for an email from me later this evening with practice details. Thank you so much.